we have seen only streaks and flares as well as camouflage, which dots the entire planar surface of the fighter aircrafts here. Usually, that is what has been done. But this time around, the HAL went one step ahead, brought in some sort of creativity and a finer aspect of the element to showcase that it stands apart from its other training fighter aircrafts too. And therefore, the HLFT-42 was brought in, a twin-seater fighter aircraft. In fact, the first in its steed. So all said and done now, the people are quite surprised because there has been a massive response to this aircraft with Hanuman there, and people were in fact going on clicking selfies with the aircraft. But today they have been surprised, at the same time shocked, and now they are also questioning as to why this sticker has been removed by the HAL.
Oh, yes, absolutely. So essentially, this is the first time that we saw something like this being used on an aircraft that was manufactured by Hindustan Aeronauticals Limited. Now, we are of course still awaiting reactions and an explanation to come forth from HAL as to why this was removed. But obviously, this has caused a bit of a controversy really at Aero India 2023, with questions being raised as to why this was removed. Now, just to tell our viewers about this logo that was put, essentially this is the HLFT-42, and there was a logo of Lord Hanuman, and below that was said, the storm is coming. So we are, of course, still waiting for an explanation to come in on that one. But I think we've got Major General Rajan Kochar on the phone line with us. Major General Kochar, good morning. How do you see what's happened? Now, what we are given to understand essentially is that there was a poster of Hanuman, and below it said, the storm is coming. Now, in the context of Hindu mythology, one would assume that, because he's believed to be the son of wind, so it was used in that context. But how do you now see its removal?
So basically, I don't think there should be a controversy, because in the armed forces, we don't follow a particular religion or a particular kind of logo. Even in the Indian Army, all our tanks, all our guns, we don't have any of these kind of logos at all, because we have our formation signs depicting to which formation that particular equipment belongs to. And similarly, the Air Force have got their own insignias. So these stickers or posters of a particular god on an aircraft, I mean, I don't know the real reason why it has been put there and why it has been removed, because only those people should be able to tell us, especially the HAL, why it was put in the first place and what compelled them to remove it. Because there must be some valid reason in their mind which prompted them to take this call. But in the normal course, if you look at the other aircrafts also and the helicopters also of the Indian Army, Indian Air Force, there is no such logo of any particular deity or god stuck onto these aircraft, because we don't follow these kind of things.
Right.
We have certain norms laid down in the armed forces. We don't stick these things into our places. So obviously it will raise a controversy now that why it has been put and why it has been removed.
Absolutely.
So I think the people will have to answer for that.
Absolutely. Major General Kochar, appreciate you speaking to us on Republic TV. Thank you very much for joining us on that one. So we'll have to wait for what HAL says about that.
ध्वज अधिकारी श्री अमन आत्मविश्वास के साथ निशान को स्वीकार करते हुए हरियाणा पुलिस के लिए गौरवमयी पल, जोरदार तालियों के साथ इस पल का अभिनंदन करें। राष्ट्रपति निशान ऊर्जा प्रदान करता है उत्तरदायित्व निर्वहन की यह शक्ति प्रदान करता है कठिन से कठिन चुनौतियों का सामना करने की। अद्भुत, अद्वितीय और अविस्मरणीय पल को तालियों की गड़गड़ाहट से अभिनंदन करें।
Well, the Union Home Minister Amit Shah were there presenting the President's colours to the Haryana Police in recognition of its exceptional service. This event, of course, is taking place currently at the Police Academy in Karnal.
माननीय मुख्य अतिथि महोदय एवं माननीय हरियाणा।
And you are watching Republic TV. On the other side, we bring you more news, including the Congress party heaping its insults on martyrs. And amid massive protests, the Delhi High Court is to hear a plea in connection with the demolition drive in Mehrauli.
Light utility helicopter which has been designed and manufactured by the HAL. So a massive development by the Hindustan Aeronautics Limited for the light utility helicopter in this particular category, going on to show that India is moving towards Atmanirbharta, and HAL is definitely going on and providing a shot in the arm for the Air Force sector as well.
जो देश दशकों से सबसे बड़ा डिफेंस इंपोर्टर था, वो अब दुनिया के 75 देशों को डिफेंस इक्विपमेंट एक्सपोर्ट कर रहा है।
The entire Mehrauli area has come down on street. The entire market is closed. All they want is the demolition drive to stop. But these are being conducted on the orders of the DDA. The demolition drive is being conducted. There was a small shop over here that has been brought down using the JCBs. Some of the people have not even come down. They're still inside. The situation has turned very volatile and dramatic. Human chain, and they are not letting the JCB enter through this particular building.
Light utility helicopter which has been designed and manufactured by the HAL. So a massive development by the Hindustan Aeronautics Limited for the light utility helicopter in this particular category, going on to show that India is moving towards Atmanirbharta, and HAL is definitely going on and providing a shot in the arm for the Air Force sector as well.
जो देश दशकों से सबसे बड़ा डिफेंस इंपोर्टर था, वो अब दुनिया के 75 देशों को डिफेंस इक्विपमेंट एक्सपोर्ट कर रहा है।
Welcome back. You are watching live and breaking on Republic TV, and going straight across to the controversy that has been created around the new generation of fighters that has been unveiled by Hindustan Aeronautics Limited. In fact, there was a picture of Lord Hanuman on the tail of the HLFT-42 aircraft model that was displayed on the air show. Now, we're given to understand that there was a considerable row over there. After that, this picture has now been removed from the display. Now, at the Aero Show 2022, Hindustan Aeronautics Limited had revealed a scale model of the Hindustan lead-in fighter trainer. .
This is because, as what our director engineering, R&D has explained, it was just to show earlier Marut was there, which has been designed by HAL. So this is an extension of that. So we thought probably this could make it. No, because it is not being. We internally also had a discussion and felt that probably we need not at this point of time need to assign any sort of. Image, so that later on we will always identify the aircraft with the tail numbers.
So last one. Requirement was 106.
Pardon, sir?
All right, that I think was Hal, of course, explaining what happened. We're going to try and play out that for you again, but we are told that Hindustan Aeronautics Limited reconsidered the image that was displayed on the tail of the fighter trainer, and thereafter it was decided to remove it. We are given to understand that this was one of the key attractions that was gaining a lot of traction at the event, and the image of Hanuman was in fact featured on the HAL jet. And it sparked a significant row. The scale model of the Hindustan lead-in fighter jet exhibited at the Aero India 2023 consisted of the image of the Hindu god Hanuman, and under it was said, "The storm is coming." I'm going to try and play out that reaction that we've got from Hindustan Aeronautics Limited once again to understand what was it that made them remove this picture. All right, just to give our viewers a bit of a background on what has actually happened is that this was a scale model that was revealed by the Hindustan Aeronautics Limited at the Aero India 2023. There was an image of Lord Hanuman embossed on the tail of this fighter aircraft. It had in fact become one of the key attractions. However, it did seem to have also sparked off a row. Thereafter, we are given to understand that Hindustan Aeronautics Limited had decided to remove the poster from it. Now, this is a modern combat trainer aircraft, and its model was for the first time unveiled by Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, that is HAL, at the Aero 2023. And this, of course, is the model of a supersonic trainer aircraft that is named the HL Hefty 42. Thereafter, of course, there had been adverse reactions to this, and it was removed after consideration from HAL authorities. We were, in fact, just listening into what Hindustan Aeronautics Limited has said about this controversy, and we're going to try and play that out again for our viewers. But we are told that there was an internal meeting that was held, and thereafter it was decided. You are watching Republic TV, and still to come, we bring you more details on how, while the nation pays its tributes to brave hearts, the Congress party is insulting the Pulwama martyrs.
जो देश दशकों से सबसे बड़ा डिफेंस इंपोर्टर था, वो अब दुनिया के 75 देशों को डिफेंस इक्विपमेंट एक्सपोर्ट कर रहा है।
The entire Mehroli area has come down on street. The entire market is closed. All they want is the demolition drive to stop. But these are being conducted on the orders of the DDA. The demolition drive is being conducted. There was a small shop over here that has been brought down using the JCBs. Some of the people have not even come down. They're still inside. The situation has turned very volatile and dramatic. Human chain, and they are not letting the JCB enter through this particular building.
light utility helicopter which is being designed and manufactured by the HAL. So a massive development by the Hindustan Aeronautics Limited for the light utility helicopter in this particular category, going on to show that India is moving towards Atmanirbharta, and HAL is definitely going on and providing a shot in the arm for the Air Force sector as well.
जो देश दशकों से सबसे बड़ा डिफेंस इंपोर्टर था, वो अब दुनिया के 75 देशों को डिफेंस इक्विपमेंट एक्सपोर्ट कर रहा है।
The entire Mehroli area has come down on street. The entire market is closed. All they want is the demolition drive to stop. But these are being conducted on the orders of the DDA. The demolition drive is being conducted. There was a small shop over here that has been brought down using the JCBs. Some of the people have not even come down. They're still inside. The situation has turned very volatile and dramatic. Human chain, and they are not letting the JCB enter through this particular building.
Light utility helicopter.
Now, even as the controversy surrounding the picture of Lord Hanuman on the tail of the HAL Hefty 42 aircraft raged on, HAL decided to remove it. In fact, we spoke to Dr. D.K. Sunil, who is the director of HAL, and this is what he said.
Sir, did you get the order for the HT-240 from the IAF?
No, reason was that it is being, the intention of putting that, it is for showing the powers of that aircraft, and then we thought subsequently maybe that may not be very appropriate, so we have.
Sir, what is the order for the HT-40?
No volition. Today we were the internal discussion, we thought probably that it is too premature to assign any. This is because, as what our director engineering, RDS explained, it was
Time for a break. On the other side, the Home Minister reiterates his confidence for the 2024 elections as the BJP has no competition.
The entire Mehroli area has come down on street. The entire market is closed. All they want is the demolition drive to stop. But these are being conducted on the orders of the DDA. The demolition drive is being conducted. There was a small shop over here that has been brought down using the JCBs. Some of the people have not even come down. They're still inside. The situation has turned very volatile and dramatic. Human chain, and they are not letting the JCB enter through this particular building.
Light utility helicopter which is being designed and manufactured by the HAL. So a massive development by the Hindustan Aeronautics Limited for the light utility helicopter in this particular category, going on to show that India is moving towards Atmanirbharta, and HAL is definitely going on and providing a shot in the arm for the Air Force sector as well.
जो देश दशकों से सबसे बड़ा डिफेंस इंपोर्टर था, वो अब दुनिया के 75 देशों को डिफेंस इक्विपमेंट एक्सपोर्ट कर रहा है।
The entire entire Mehroli area has come down on street. The entire market is closed. All they want is the demolition drive to stop. But these are being conducted on the orders of the DDA. The demolition drive is being conducted. There was a small shop over here that has been brought down using the JCBs. Some of the people have not even come down. They're still inside. The situation has turned very volatile and dramatic. Human chain, and they are not letting the JCB enter through this particular building.
Good afternoon and welcome. You're watching live and breaking on Republic TV. I'm Nupur Talwar Suri. We begin with a look at the headlines at noon.
पूर्ण बहुमत के साथ भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार काउंटिंग के दिन आप देख लीजिएगा 12 बजे के पहले क्योंकि यहाँ कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसियाँ छोटी हैं 12 बजे के पहले पूर्ण बहुमत से भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार बन जाएगी.
The Home Minister reiterates his confidence ahead of 2024, says the BJP has no competition. It's the second day of the Aero India Show 2023. The world watches as India emerges as a defense superpower. The nation pays its tribute to brave hearts, but the Congress party continues to insult Pulwama martyrs.
Of the Tejas as well. If you could just brief us about that.
Yeah, Tejas, we are trying to, for the Mark II, it will be the 414 engine, which is a much powerful engine to take care, because we have got the Mark II. In the Mark II, the payload also will be increased from the present 3,500 with an addition of almost 3,000 kgs of armaments they can carry. So which means all this would mean that we need a high-powered engine and a higher thrust engine, and that is where this 414 will exactly fit into.
Okay, so the Tumkuru manufacturing facility as well now. So you stated that the capacity is 30 now and you will ramp it up as well. What are the pending orders of, your LCAs and your LUH as well? So what are the orders that you have already received and interest from nation?
No, as far as the Tumkuru facility is concerned, we have got that LUH 12 numbers of LOI, but we will be not waiting for the orders to come through, because the facility has been created and the orders are likely to come, because the LUH, which is going to be a replacement of the aging Cheetah Chetak, and Cheetah Chetak is almost 400 numbers are there. We are going to really ramp up and be prepared with the capacity, so that notwithstanding the orders come, we will start our operations and we'll start building the aircraft. As and when the orders keep coming, we will be delivering the aircrafts well ahead of the schedule.
Okay, lastly, sir, the HLFT-42, there was a picture of Lord Hanuman there, creating a lot of controversy. It was in theme with the design of the structure, but why the sudden decision by the HAL to remove it?
No, it was in theme. It has nothing, no specific reasons for putting it over there. It has been the designers who had thought that it is one of going to be the powerful trainers. It has come through. That's it.
Okay, but why was it removed, sir?
It is, it is, we wanted the program to continue successfully. We do not want any sort of misinterpretations of it.
Thank you for giving your precious time, sir. So there was, the chairman and managing director of the HAL, Mr. Ananthakrishnan, going on and answering the questions which was stated by Republic. Mainly, there has been a lot that is being spoken about the HLFT-42 now with the sticker being taken out, but the HAL's chairman and managing director states that it's an internal decision. With video journalist Bhagat Prajwal Prasad reporting for Republic, Bengaluru. Sir, upload.
So that was the HAL director over there making it extremely clear that they did not want any misinterpretation of this logo, and that is why after an internal meeting of sorts, it was decided to remove this logo. Now, just to bring our viewers' attention what this logo essentially was about, it had a picture of Hanuman on the tail of the HLFT-42, which is a new aircraft. It was being displayed at the Aero 2023. Now, below the picture of Hanuman, there was a catchphrase as well. It said the storm is coming. Now, in Hindu mythology, obviously, Hanuman is depicted as the son of Vayu. So that perhaps was the intent of the designers of this aircraft, and hence that logo was placed. But obviously there was considerable controversy around it, and thereafter Hindustan Aeronautics Limited decided in an internal meeting to remove this picture. We are given to understand that that decision was taken after there was some bit of a row around this yesterday, and hence the logo was removed today. Let's go across to Prajwal. Prajwal, you were just speaking to the HAL director, Dr. D.K. Sunil, who made it very clear that they did not want misrepresentation, and that is why they decided to remove it. So essentially one would understand that they did not want any negative attention coming, and that is why it was removed.
Absolutely now, because we also just had a word with the chairman and managing director of HAL, Mr. Ananthakrishnan, and he stated that they wanted to go ahead with the project as it was planned earlier as well, and they do not want any stumbling stones when they are moving ahead with the HLFT 42 project here. And it was also stated that this particular decision is an internal decision in accordance with the design team as well, because the design team too agreed that these are very initial stages for this and therefore to proceed in the right direction, they will come up with the finer aspects of the design, and then they will think about too. And also now some of the representatives also stated that the armed forces here do not have any sort of religion, so it would be it would not be right on their part to be depicting a god from one religion, and therefore they wanted to disassociate themselves from it.
Oh yes, absolutely. So what you're saying is that they did not want any sort of negative attention, and perhaps that is the reason behind removing this sticker. But Prajwal, you have also spoken to various people at Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, and they explained to you earlier why this was part of the design, and the only intent perhaps was to display essentially the prowess of this.
Absolutely. We had also spoken to Wing Commander Pratyush Sinha, who is the trainer for these trainee fighter pilots as well. And looking at how things are going, he stated that this was done in sync and theme and in accordance as well, because when the pilots were spoken to, the squadron leaders were also spoken to about, and the wing commander in particular spoke about the entire theme as to what went behind designing this, and also in accordance with the capabilities of the HLFT 42, which has been designed by the Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, which had gone on to depict the picture of Lord Hanuman holding a mace there, showing its strength and majesty in the skies.
Absolutely, Prajwal. Do stay with us. Just to tell our viewers that there is actually an air show that is on behind Prajwal, and that is why there is so much audio disturbance. We apologize for that. But we're going to come back to you, Prajwal, in just a bit on this one. But let's once again play out the interview rather that we had with one of the directors of Hindustan Aeronautics Limited.
We have the chairman and managing director, Mr. Ananthakrishnan, here speaking to us on Republic. So first and foremost, an outstanding expo, outstanding display by HAL out there, both the static displays, the flying displays as well. First and foremost, I want to ask about the LCA Tejas Mark 1A. When is it going to make its debut as well, and what are the major iterations that will be brought in from the previous edition, and also about the Mark 2?
Yeah, Mark 1A, as you are aware that we signed the contract in the last Aero India, and we are in the time, the delivery timeline is to 30 plus 36 months, which means it should materialize sometime in February 2024. The first aircraft to be delivered. We are pursuing all our activities, and we are confident that we will be in a position to deliver the first aircraft in February 24 as per the schedule.
Okay. So we get to understand that it's a 414 engine on the Mark 2 of the Tejas as well. If you could just brief us about that.
Yeah, Tejas, we are trying to, for the Mark 2, it will be the 414 engine, which is a much powerful engine to take care, because we have got the Mark 2. In the Mark 2, the payload also will be increased from the present 3,500 with an addition of almost 3,000 kgs of armaments they can carry. So, which means all this would mean that we need a high-powered engine and a higher thrust engine, and that is where this 414 will exactly fit into. Okay,
so the Tumkuru manufacturing facility as well now. So you stated that the capacity is 30 now, and you will ramp it up as well. What are the pending orders of your LCAs and your LUH as well? So what are the orders that you have already received and interest from nation?
No, as far as the Tumkuru facility is concerned, we have got that LUH 12 numbers of LOI, but we will be not waiting for the orders to come through because the facility has been created and the orders are likely to come because the LUH, which is going to be a replacement of the aging Cheetah Chetak, and Cheetah Chetak is almost 400 numbers are there. We are going to really ramp up and be prepared with the capacity so that notwithstanding the orders come, we will start our operations and we'll start building the aircraft. As and when the orders keep coming, we will be delivering the aircrafts well ahead of the schedule.
Okay, lastly, sir, the HLFT-42, there was a picture of Lord Hanuman there, creating a lot of controversy. It was in theme with the design of the structure, but why the sudden decision by the HAL to remove it?
No, it was in theme. It has nothing, no specific reasons for putting it over there. It has been the designers who had thought that it is one of going to be the powerful trainers. It has come through. That's it.
Okay, but why was it removed, sir?
It is, it is, we wanted the program to continue successfully. We do not want any sort of misinterpretations of.
And joining us on the broadcast this afternoon is Mr. Ratan Sharda. Mr. Sharda, good afternoon. Mr. Sharda, how do you see this controversy that has been built around this logo? Now, many would argue that this is, essentially Hindu mythology on display, and there was really no intent behind it, as HAL's director over there said.
See, we must agree that our predominant culture, our driving culture is Hindu. We can't deny our roots. Hanumanji is the most inspiring, most powerful person who is supposed to have superhuman power, who was devoted, who was knowledgeable. He's an inspiration to crores of Indians, not just Hindus. And we had this strange way of looking at secularism was to work. They would have removed the names of Brahmos, Vikramaditya, Pinak, Aryabhatta, Bhaskara, Rohini, which emblazons our rockets. This hate for anything Hindu in the name of secularism, which is our roots and denying the roots, is very stupid. If they had their ways, if we had such secularists at the time of independence, you would not find Vedic courts in the parliament, nor on the Supreme Court, or Ramayana in the constitution, the illustration of Ramayana in the constitution. So we must get over this Hindu, fetish and to get over this hate for Hindu symbols and Hindu history, because we are one, we are strong because we have those strong roots in our Hindu past. Hanuman is universal God all over the world. People look at him for strength and for inspiration. Why anybody should get burnt up if the other heroes apart from Vikramaditya and Pinak and Bhaskar and Aryabhatta, why not? We Abdul Kalam will be naming some satellites or some proud name of Abdul Kalam also. So we should get inspiration from heroes, not getting stuck up with some hate campaign, some kind of strange construct of secularism. Our secularism is not godless. Our secularism is not irreligious. It is respect for our religion. Let us understand the basics of secularism. It doesn't come from the West idea.
Right, and do you think, perhaps this was essentially, the storm around it was one in a teacup? Because, there are several things that are named after mythological characters, after gods. For instance, Greek mythology, there are so many things named after it. Do you think that this perhaps was an attempt to bring attention to something that did not need any attention?
Exactly. See, I have already pointed out so many names that our rockets have. I talked about Brahmos and Pinak and Aryabhatta and Bhaskara and Rohini and Vikramaditya, etc. Now, these are also Hindu kings and Hindu rishis. Should we remove them also? Should we remove Charak also from memory? Should we remove scientists from memories who created historic inventions and did wonderful medical science? And we should get rid of all of that just because some secularists feel offended by the Hindu past of this India? That is the undoing of this country that we want to undo and get away from our roots. We suffered for 70 years. We won't suffer anymore. I think people who got scared of this controversy should realize that the controversy can be taken up anything. Tomorrow they will ask you to remove the shlokas from parliament, I said, even remove the constitution which has got illustrations of Rama. They will say this is also not secular, and this happened during the most secular person, Nehru.
Right. Ratan Sharda, appreciate your joining us on Republic TV. Thank you very much for speaking to us. In fact, Prajwal, who broke this story for Republic TV, has been speaking to a host of people on this controversy. He also earlier spoke to the director of HAL, that's Dr. D.K. Sunil. But let's also play out for our viewers what's happening in the air show today. There are a host of meetings that are lined up, as well as the exhibition that's very interesting.
We're here at the Aero India show, and right in front of the Apache helicopter, which is manufactured by the US, and it is known for its attack capabilities as well. And you can go on to see that on this display, you can see a machine gun, the 1200 mounted machine gun, and also the Stringer missiles as well. There are 4 currently on display too, and also the Hydra missiles which are mounted on either sides of it. That is 2 over here, and 2 pilots can be seated at a time, and this can go up to an altitude of over 25,000 to 30,000 kilometers is what the defense personnel have gone on to state as well. And this has been used by the US for the past 40 years, but this is one of the latest iterations of the Apache attack helicopter, which has been brought in by the Indian Air Force as well. And also you can clearly go on and look at it that this is also designated for mid-altitude missions as well. And also now you can see 2 Hellfire missiles on display with the 70 mm rocket pod on the right side of it. And also we are seeing a 30 mm turret mounted gun which we were pointing out earlier, and also the 4 Stringer missiles which are air-to-air missiles is what we get to understand. So this is one of the star attractions here at Aero India, which is the Apache attack helicopter as well. Going ahead and looking at how it is and what are the capabilities that it has for its performance as well. And the Stringer missiles, which is air-to-air, makes it a potential danger and a threat for the enemy pilots and aircrafts too. With video journalist Bhagat Prajwal Prasad reporting for Republic, Bengaluru. We are here at Aero India 2023 Day 2, and the static display of Tejas as well. And we'll also be shortly joined by the Chief Manager of Projects, Mr. Dev Priye, for the LC Tejas division to go across and throw light about the salient features of this light combat aircraft, which is in much demand over the last few years, and also for its indigenous development in India, giving a push to Atmanirbhar Bharat as well. So first and foremost, welcome and thank you for speaking to Republic. So if we want to go on and highlight the features of Tejas in layman terms for our audience, what do you want to speak about this light combat aircraft?
Sure. There are many in the USPs of our LCA Tejas. The number 1, it is homegrown 4th and half generation fighter. Number 2, this is the only platform which can fly with the weapons from Western, European, Israelis, and of course Indian weapons. So since the computing capabilities are with us, so we can integrate any sort of missiles or weapon which can physically fit under the belly of the aircraft. So apart from this, this is very maintenance friendly and very easy to operate the aircraft. And other than that, now we are working on the advanced version of LCA Tejas, which we are calling as Mark 1A. You will see that will come into production line. It's already in production. By February 24, we'll be starting delivery of those Mark 1A. So I will just highlight what is the main features of Mark 1A variant. Okay. It will have smart function displays. Right now it is having MFDs, which will be replaced by smart multifunctional displays. It will have jam-proof AEC radar. Okay. Apart from that, it will have EW suit, which is not there right now. It will have BVR missile, our homegrown Astra missile, which will be fabricated, manufactured by BDL. With that, apart from that, it will have an SM missile, Advanced Short Range Air-to-Air Missile, which is from MBDA UK. So these are the main upgrades from FOC to Mark 1A.
Also, sir, now when we are speaking about the engine capability of the Tejas, now we get to understand that in the Mark 1, it's an integrated, it's a 404 integrated, engine here. And will we be seeing an advanced version in the Mark 2 version of the Tejas as well? And what will be its capacity as well as the thrust and the altitude which it can go up to, which it can enhance?
See, altitude-wise, our current configuration itself can fly up to 50,000 feet. The Mark II also will be the same configuration. The only upgrade will be in the thrust. we are expecting like 30% of the thrust increase when we fit 414, which is again from GE. So, and that is the requirement for Mark II, because we have additional payloads which we are planning to put into Mark II. Right now, our Mark 1A and FOC, they have 9 hard points to carry variety of weapons. But in Mark II, we'll have 11 hard points, including wingtips. Wingtip missiles are planned for Mark II. So that's why we need a higher thrust engine which can carry such load.
Okay. So fuselage is something which has always been spoken about, and also the air sustenance for the longer time, the duration that these attack aircrafts can go on to fly. So are we expecting any changes from Mark 1 variant to the Mark II variant in terms of fuselage, as well as adjustments with the fuel tank too?
No, actually Mark II will have slightly elongated airframe. Obviously the fuselage capacity will be more than Mark 1A. And we are expecting with the air-to-air probe, there is no limit to fly the aircraft, to keep the aircraft airborne. Yes. Because the moment you are low with the fuel, you can go to the tanker and air-to-air refilling you can do. Yes. So that is what we are planning. But as we anticipate the Mark II is slightly enlarged in the area, so obviously it will have the more fuel capacity in terms of range, and it will have more range also.
Okay. Last but not the least, I know it's quite confidential as well, but when can we expect that the Mark II will make its debut?
As far as my knowledge is concerned, around first flight we are expecting in 25-26, and later on some prototypes will be produced, and subsequently the way we have done the concurrent manufacturing of series production, the same process will follow for Mark II as well.
Thank you, Mr. Devpriya, for speaking to Republic there. So a complete highlight on the capacities, the comparisons between Mark 1 and Mark 2, and what will Tejas be doing to our arsenal, mainly to the Indian Air Force as well. And it is a remarkable beauty, indigenous, again, as Prime Minister Narendra Modi, as well as the Minister of Defence, Rajnath Singh, was stressing on, this is the Make in India, this is the time for India. And in a year where we are also heralding the G20 presidency, this will be a jewel crown of the Indian Air Force, which is the LCA Tejas. With video journalist Bhagat Prajwal Prasad reporting for Republic, Bengaluru.
And in fact, we're now going to cut across to the Yelahanka Air Force Base in Bengaluru, where air show is on even as we speak. Now, do remember that Aero India 2023 is in fact a 5-day air show that is on currently, and pictures on your screen are coming to you live from there. So even as we are awaiting to show our viewers the air show that is currently on, let's play out for our viewers other interviews that we have conducted, and also this report that Prajwal Prasad in fact filed from the air show. He did have an interview with the Gripen fighter aircraft manufacturer Saab, which is a Swedish maker.
We also have with us one of the largest defense manufacturers from Sweden here, which is Saab 2. And before going to him, I will just go on and highlight the salient features as well. We are going to speak about the missile system, the sort of missiles that is here, mainly Spear, Ashram, as well as Spear MDDA, and also the Gripen, this state-of-the-art model fighter aircraft as well. Going ahead and trying to understand as to how the entire defense system and how the entire ecosystem works as well. If you could just give us a lowdown about all of it.
Well, a fighter is not only a fighter, it's a weapon system, it's an operational concept. But if we start with the fighter, what is the essential things of a fighter capability? At the end of the day, this is the ultimate war machine for India. It will create the maximum deterrence. And if someone is stupid enough to try something, he and she will be defeated, and we will bring the pilot back home safe. And that's the essence. And Gripen is best at doing this every day from anywhere. So where and how is that possible? First of all, it's about information, having a superior, supreme information advantage, having a superior situation awareness of the situation. Then it's about making the best, fastest decision, having best decision support. And then you have system that is capable of suppressing enemy air defenses and other threats in order to operate as in a safe way in a contested environment, because any pilot, any fighter will be a target after takeoff in a modern battle space. So that is essential. And then you need to have the most advanced weapon suite. But we have the best technology, the best sensors. We have the best radar with a swash plate, with a field of regard that no one else has.
It's day 2 of Aero India 2023, and right behind me are these mean lean machines from the USA, the F-35s, which has been developed by Lockheed Martin there, and the much anticipated debut is finally being made by the F-35s, because what is quite interesting is the fact that these F-35s have not flown in the Indian airspace, and for the first time they are making a debut here. And also to go on and speak about the specifications, if you clearly go on, concentrate on where the payload is, it has been completely covered, meaning to state that the visibility of the missiles will not be seen on this particular aircraft as well. And also in the run-up to the air show, there was a speculation about these 5th generation jets making a debut, and finally they have arrived here on Indian soil at the Yelahanka Air Force Base. And more of now, if we are looking even at the engine capacity as well, the F-35's engine consists of a 3-stage fan, a 6-stage compressor, and an annual combustor, and a single-stage high-pressure turbine, and a 2-stage low-pressure turbine. And the engine produces 43,000 pounds of thrust, which is massive. And the F-35 also is representing the leading edge of the US fighter technology. And more of, if you're looking at its air defense system, it is also a stealth aircraft, meaning to say that the sort of technology which has been inculcated and brought into the F-35 clearly goes on and shows that it can jam radar signals, meaning to state that it will go undetected in the enemy airspace, therefore going ahead and providing an edge, to the pilot in the enemy airspace, where he can go and make immediate strikes without being detected. And if you could just also focus on those missiles which are being developed by Lockheed Martin there, and where the American defense personnel are present, you can see that these are the payloads which we are exactly speaking about.
पूर्ण बहुमत के साथ भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार, काउंटिंग के दिन आप देख लीजिएगा 12 बजे के पहले क्योंकि यहाँ कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसियां छोटी हैं, 12 बजे के पहले पूर्ण बहुमत से भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार बन जाएगी.
And the Home Minister reiterates once again that the BJP has no competition ahead of 2024.
The entire Mehroli area has come down on street. The entire market is closed. All they want is the demolition drive to stop. But these are being conducted on the orders of the DDA. The demolition drive is being conducted. There was a small shop over here that has been brought down using the JCBs. Some of the people have not even come down. They're still inside. The situation has turned very volatile and dramatic. Human chain, and they are not letting the JCB enter through this particular building.
Light utility helicopter which is being designed and manufactured by the HAL. So a massive development by the Hindustan Aeronautics Limited for the light utility helicopter in this particular category, going on to show that India is moving towards Atmanirbharta, and HAL is definitely going on and providing a shot in the arm for the Air Force sector as well.
11,000 placements last year. At Amity, we are committed to nurturing passionate, hardworking and proactive professionals.
जो देश दशकों से सबसे बड़ा डिफेंस इंपोर्टर था, वो अब दुनिया के 75 देशों को डिफेंस इक्विपमेंट एक्सपोर्ट कर रहा है.
entire Mehroli area has come down on street. The entire market is closed. All they want is the demolition drive to stop. But these are being conducted on the orders of the DDA. The demolition drive is being conducted. There was a small shop over here that has been brought down using the JCBs. Some of the people have not even come down. They're still inside. The situation has turned very volatile and dramatic. Human chain, and they are not letting the JCB enter through this particular building.
A very good afternoon. Thanks for tuning in. You're watching Live and Breaking on Republic. I'm Samiksha Srivastava. Let's take a look at the top headlines this Tuesday afternoon.
पूर्ण बहुमत के साथ भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार काउंटिंग के दिन आप देख लीजिएगा 12 बजे के पहले क्योंकि यहाँ कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसियाँ छोटी हैं 12 बजे के पहले पूर्ण बहुमत से भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार बन जाएगी।
Home Minister Amit Shah reiterates confidence ahead of 2024 polls, says BJP has no competition. Its second day of Aero India 2023 World watches as India emerges as a defence superpower. Nation pays tribute to brave hearts, but Vadra Congress insults Pulwama martyrs yet again. Amid massive protest, Delhi High Court to hear plea in connection with demolition drive in Mehroli. Beijing accuses the United States of flying high-altitude balloons in its airspace. White House denies claims. Smriti Mandhana becomes the costliest player as first Women's Premier League auction is held. And starting with a top focus, as the nation today remembers its martyrs of the Pulwama attack of 2019, Vadra Congress continues to question the Pulwama attack and insulting our forces. Yet again, questioning the Pulwama attack which happened in 2019, insulting the martyrs, raising several questions over the Pulwama attack on February 14th of 2019. Remember earlier this morning, Congress leader Digvijay Singh had taken to Twitter saying, "Today we pay homage to the 40 CRPF jawans who died because of the blatant intel failure in Pulwama. I hope all the martyred families have been suitably rehabilitated," and several such tweets as well as reactions that have been coming in from the Congress questioning, raising doubts over the Pulwama attack which happened in 2019, insulting the forces. Digvijay Singh there questioning the centre and saying that it was intel failure which led to the Pulwama attack on February 14th in 2019. And several of the Congress leaders, including the likes of Udit Raj, also who have raised several such questions. In fact, just let's listen into what Udit Raj had to say, questioning the Indian Army and raising several doubts and questioning the centre over the 14th February 2019 Pulwama attack in which 40 of our jawans lost their lives. So the Congress there questioning the centre over what they claim is intel failure on part of the centre which led to the Pulwama attack in 2019. Several of those Congress leaders saying that it was a homegrown terror attack and that there is no proof of surgical strikes that was carried out just days after the Pulwama attack which happened on 14th of February in 2019. So today when the nation pays tribute to 40 jawans who lost their lives while serving the nation, Congress there again taking turns to insult the army, questioning and saying that it was intel failure which led to the Pulwama attack on 14th of February in 2019. In fact, let's just listen into what Congress leader Udit Raj had to say just a short while back.
देश जानना चाहता है कि 14 फरवरी 2019 को पुलवामा की घटना हुई, इसके पीछे कौन था, इतना भारी मात्रा में आरडीएक्स आया कैसे, जब कन्वॉय चलता है सीआरपीएफ का तो आगे पीछे की रोड को क्लियर किया जाता है, अगल बगल से भी कोई व्हीकल नहीं आ पा सकती है, तो फिर वो कार कैसे घुसी, यह भी एक सवाल है। फिर देवेंद्र सिंह को क्यों छोड़ दिया गया। एक बात और भी समझ में नहीं आती कि जब इंटेलिजेंस था कि इनको बाई एयर ले जाया जाए, तो रोड से इनको क्यों ले जाया गया। क्या इसका मतलब समझें, ये घटना होने देने का इंतज़ार था। ये कुछ सवाल जिनके जवाब अभी तक मिले नहीं। देश जानना चाहता कि ऐसा कैसे हो सका, तो यह बहुत ही आश्चर्य की बात है।
All right, to another news break that is just coming in. The searches that are in fact being carried out at several of the BBC offices in the national capital. Now, these are IT searches from what we're given to understand at BBC office in the national capital. So, details are just trickling in of the IT searches which are being carried out at BBC office in the national capital. All right, we try and get more details on the IT searches which are being carried out. From what it appears as per reports that these could be income tax raids which are happening as we speak on Delhi's BBC office at this point in time. More details are awaited, but the reports that are just trickling in that these are IT surveys which are being held at BBC office in the national capital. So the details that are just trickling in of the IT services as per reports which are being carried out at the BBC New Delhi headquarters. This is a survey of sorts from what we're given to understand, not raids, but IT survey which is happening at this point in time at the BBC office in the national capital. We'll just try and get more details on this, but the details are just trickling in. Little known so far about the IT surveys which are being carried out at BBC office in the national capital. Yet to get more details on what exactly is this survey about, but the income tax department carrying out surveys at the BBC office in the national capital. All right, we have a senior editor, Shravan Sen, also joining us. Shravan, if you could give us more details on the IT surveys which are being carried out at BBC office in the national capital.
Well, in fact, Sabiksha, at this point in time, the income tax department hasn't really made any official statement with regards to whether at all any searches are being carried out.
All right, so little known so far. These are, as per reports, IT surveys at BBC office in the national capital. We'll try and get more details on this, but as we speak, the IT sleuths there at the BBC office in the national capital. So the details are just trickling in that the income tax department has not confirmed about the searches at this point in time in the BBC office in the national capital. But what we're given to understand, these are survey teams which are currently present at the BBC office in the national capital. Well, we have Niranjan also joining us. Niranjan, if you could give us more details that are just trickling in.
From the details available with us, we know that the searches are in the Delhi offices of the BBC. I can confirm to you reports suggesting that the searches are in the Delhi office. I'm going to also get across to Shravan. Shravan will be live with us from our New Delhi newsroom, and our entire team of reporters in Delhi also tracking the story very closely. So what we know so far is that the search, it's a survey. We don't have a confirmation whether it's a raid. We are waiting for more details to confirm whether it's a raid, but it's a search. It's a survey, is what we are told. The income tax teams are at the BBC office. We don't know whether it's a raid or a search. It's a survey is what we are told. Now, point number one. Point number two is that this comes on the back of the BBC funding controversy. Now, nobody, I think, the only question that comes to our mind is that it comes on the back of the BBC funding controversy. There were claims made and reports shown. Even the UK media had claimed that the BBC outside of the UK takes funding from China. There are reports that showed how the BBC took money from countries like China, including running projects for state-run Chinese companies. State-run Chinese firms are some of the biggest clients of the BBC outside of the UK. By going by reports and admissions by the BBC insiders as well, at least 8 Chinese government firms are on the Chinese payrolls, and which means that BBC does projects for them, does special assignments, branded content as we call it, shows focusing on China, and in return, BBC has also invested about 150 million pounds. I repeat, 150 million pounds in Chinese banks as well. So these are some of the details available with us. We're waiting for more details to come in of these searches. We're just waiting for some details of whether it's a raid or a search. What we can tell you, we can confirm to you as of this minute, it's a survey, and some of the journalists who are tweeting on it claiming that their phones were also taken away. That's the claim. So we'll have to verify these claims independently. We don't have more details. Shravan should be able to give us more details in a short while from now.
Yes, Niranjan, as we speak, reports and some of the details that are just trickling in, if you could confirm this for us as well, that the staff, the phones of the staff employees have also been seized at this point. They've also been barred from coming and going in the campus of the BBC office.
Yes. Well, you know, the fact is, the BBC documentary was used to sort of counter the government, in the floor of the House just before the Parliament session as well. The timing of it was questioned by many people, that it was timed to the budget session of Parliament. And the fact is, there have been parliamentarians who have also been speaking about it. The BBC controversy, Mahesh Jethmalani for one. What we will do is, we'll try and get Mahesh Jethmalani on the phone line as well. We'll try and get Mahesh Jethmalani on the phone line. He's been speaking about it. He's been tweeting about it. He's been talking about the links of the BBC to the Chinese state and how they are very, close to the Chinese state. I'm handing it back to you for now. We'll come back with more details. I'm handing it back to you for now, Samiksha.
All right, so initial reports as per details that are just trickling in. These are IT survey teams who are at the location at the BBC office in the national capital. Well, we have Shravan Sen back with us. Shravan, if you could take us through the details that are known so far. We understand that the phones of some of the staff members have also been seized by the IT sleuths. All right, we'll try and connect with Shravan again. So the details that are just that are just trickling in. Little known so far, we'll try and get more details. These are IT survey teams that are at the BBC office in the national capital. Yet to get more details on whether these survey teams are at other offices as well of the BBC. But what we can confirm at this point is that the DAX department surveys are being conducted at the BBC office in the national capital as we speak, and as per reports, 60 to 70 IT officials are currently involved in these as part of the survey teams who are there at the BBC office in the national capital. Now, also as per reports, to which we'll also try and get a confirmation that the staff members' phones have also been seized. Along with this, any people have also been stopped from coming and going in the campus of the BBC office in the national capital. So phones of some BBC employees have also been seized by the IT officials who are there at the location at the BBC office in the national capital. Shravan is back with us. Shravan, if you could give us more details that you're picking up.
Well, at this point in time, what we can confirm, Samiksha, is that a team of the Income Tax Department is present in the office of the British Broadcasting Corporation in the national capital, as well as in Mumbai, is what we are picking up. Roughly about 3 teams of the Income Tax Department are present at the spot. What we can tell our viewers right now is that this is a survey that is basically underway. The survey essentially indicates that the book of accounts is basically being looked into right now. Searches would essentially mean that they would be in a position to seize certain items from the office of the BBC. But in the case of a survey, remember, they are in a position to take or seize any items outside the office. All that the Income Tax Department and the team that is present right now at the office of the BBC would be doing is examining the documents right inside the office, and thereafter notices basically issued to the employees there. As of now, we are being told that the survey is already underway. In fact, it started roughly about an hour and a half ago at the National Capital Office. In fact, they've also asked some of the employees who are present in the office to remain where they are, and the other employees who haven't actually entered the building premises as yet, they've been asked to return, is what we are picking up at this point in time. Now, with regards to what exactly is the offence, whether they are looking at some sort of a tax evasion case, that's not known at this point in time. We are waiting for an official confirmation to come in. The Income Tax Department somehow at this point in time has been completely tight-lipped about whether at all they are going to issue any notice. If the notice is issued, remember, then there is a high possibility at some stage or the other the Income Tax Department would be in a position to seize items from inside the office of the BBC. Also important